The whole night is about being happy, being comfortable, being connected to the energy of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So I'm going to read different section of Zohar, so we have a full understanding of that night. Don't be too tough on yourself tonight. You're not supposed to. Be happy, be generous. Make sure that hopefully during the night you can take a few Zohar and give it to people on Pico and help them to understand what it is. It's part of the mitzvah, part of the thing. Don't make it about this box, make it about how we can help more people, B'ezrat Hashem. So I would like to start first with the section of Zohar. I'm going to jump from section to section. I will start with Naso, and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in Naso in the Idra Rabba Kadisha. Idra Rabba Kadisha, the great holy gathering. So it say that Lamadnu, we study, Nemnu HaChaverim Lifnei Rabbi Shimon, the friends sit with Rabbi Shimon, Venimtza. Now he's going to say all the name of the 10 people that were together with Rabbi Shimon. It's very important to remember their name because we are bringing their soul down as we're saying their name. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rabbi Elazar, his son, Rabbi Abba, the scribe, the writer, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi Bar Yaakov, Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Chizkiah Bar Rav, Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Isa. Those are the 10 rabbis together with Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Ayadayim natnu leRabbi Shimon. They gave the hand to Rabbi Shimon. Va'etzba'ot zakfu lemala. And the finger, they pointed up. V'nichnesu b'sadeh, and they went to the field, ben ha'ilanot, among the trees. Again, we don't know if it's physical tree or spiritual. V'yashvu, they said, Kam Rabbi Shimon stood up, v'itpalel tfilato, and he prayed. Yashav benehem ve'amar, he sit among them and he say, Kol echad yasum yado becheko. Every person should put his hand basically like that under his arm. Samu yedehem, they put their hand. Kol echad becheko. Velekacham Rabbi Shimon took them and he started teaching them. Why am I opening with this section? It's very important that we understand. By us study Zohar, Chag Sameach, please welcome. Baruch Hofech Olim. Brucha haba, welcome, please. So, we know that when we're opening with a section like this, we don't want just just celebrating is very important tonight, by the way. Very important. It's actually what makes all different. It's to understand when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai coming, who is here with us tonight. So those 10 names that we mentioned are with us as well. And we have to be appreciating that they are with us as well, B'ezrat Hashem. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and light candle. I need actually 2 candles. So I have 2 candles. Who know why 2 candles?
One for a student.
Who is student? Very good. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, זכותו יגן עלינו ועל כל בני ישראל, אמן. And Rabbi Yitzchak is student that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai took him with him to the next level. So everybody, please, is welcome. Before we study, please go ahead. You have candle, take your turn. Try not to make too much noise. I will teach while you're doing it. And just light 1 candle and say Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. While you're lighting it, I will talk. You can listen to the lecture or don't. And to the study. Again, we're going to do like about 20-minute study, and then we're going to go have a dinner. And then we sing some song, then we continue and study, okay? That's what we're going to do. So, we know Chag Sameach. So we know לחיים יוסף, לחיים טובים ושלום. חיים יוסף, חג שמח. Only Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai will keep you with whatever you need, okay?
Amen. Sounds good.
So, after we mentioned all the tzaddikim and all the people that were serving Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, so I'm going to go to a section which explain what is the Zohar, because many people hear the Zohar is a book, and tonight, of course, it's the night that you can go around Pico and start giving Zohar to people and say, please believe it. And if you want miracle, I mean, it's not for everybody. If you feel you're really desperate for miracle, if you feel you need a small miracle, you don't have to have it. But I'd say you want a big one, you got to do something. Yeah. Anyway, so what is the Zohar? What is the Zohar? It says like that. I'm reading from Parashat Naso, verse 90. And hopefully, I think by now all of you know this verse by heart. V'amasklim yavinu, the wise one will understand, ki em mitzad habina, they're coming from Bina, which is Etz HaChaim, tree of life. Bishvilam ne'emar, v'amasklim yaziru kezohar harakia. It's a section we study in Tikunei HaZohar. They will shine like the spark, the splendor of the sky, of the firmament, actually, Rakia. B'chibur hazeh shelcha, within this book, של רבי שמעון בר יוחאי, שהוא ספר הזוהר, מזוהר של אמא הילאה. So the Zohar, said to us the Zohar, is coming directly from Bina. שנקרא תשובה, אלו לא צריכים ניסיון. Those type of people don't have to go to suffering and test, because every time you go into pain and suffering, it's to test you, if you're going to believe or not going to believe. But once you read Zohar, study Zohar enough, what is enough? 1 hour, 2 hours, all day long? What is enough? Well, this week I gave 2 lectures about quality versus quantity. And I was talking to a banker from Israel, and I'm teaching him about quality is way more important than quantity. And he said, how come? I said, $10 million that giving you chaos, or $1 million that just give you joy. Which one do you choose? What would the banker say? Both. What did I answer? You see, you're already back to quantity. You're back to quantity, both. You always want more and more and more. Once you want more, you're not getting it all. Once you want quality, always look for quality. Quality, my friend. So the idea, it's the test that people have to go through in their life. It's to make them basically wake up. People who study Zohar enough, or Lishma, don't have to go to that. What is enough, again, is a quality. Are you sitting, study the Zohar, a section that you can never understand, and fight until you will understand it. That's called quality. Because I know when I teach Tikunei HaZohar, we don't have a lot of people like now who's coming to study with me, because it's a difficult section. But whoever is here, it's promised to them that open up. Like Michelle always teach me, she said, Eliyahu, it's different to watch it live or to watch it on Facebook than come here. Different. So he'd say, משום שעתידים ישראל איתו מעץ החיים, because Israel will test from the tree of life. What is the tree of life? הוא ספר הזוהר הזה. The Zohar is the tree of life. If you want to know what is the snake couldn't give Adam and Eve, Zohar. ייצוב בין הגלות ברחמים. You can finish your problem with mercy. Because there is 2 ways to finish your problem, judgment or mercy. והתקיים בהם, השם בדד ינחנו, ואין עמו אין לך. Now, just with your permission, one last section, and then you can go and eat and do a motzi and celebrate and drink some wine. Then after this, once your stomach is full, we're going to come back here and we're going to study more. So there is a very interesting section here. It says, Rabbi Shimon is asking, ברוך הבא, חג שמח. So Rabbi Shimon is basically asking Eliyahu Hanavi Elisha the prophet, and he say, אמר רבי שמעון, תמה אני על אותו חגור מותניים. So Rabbi Shimon said, I wonder on this person, he doesn't say who, that has a long hair, Shu Eliyahu, Elisha the prophet. Why does he have a long hair? He's a monk. So they don't shave, they don't drink wine. למה לא נמצא בהידרה שלנו? Why is not here in our gathering? בזמן שנתגלו אלו הדברים הקדושים. In the Hydra, all the secret be revealed. בתוך כך בא אליהו. All of a sudden Elisha the prophet arrived. 3 טיפות אור מאירים בפניו. And he has 2 drops of light in his face. אמר לו רבי שמעון, מה הטעם? לא היה נמצא אדוני במשתה היין. Why didn't you come to our celebration with the wine and food and everything? We are in the Hydra Rabbah. We are the biggest secret since Mount Sinai was not revealed. Where are you? וערוך לאדונו ביום השמחה, and it was all beautiful with health and wine and food and miracle. אמר לו אליהו, tell him, Elisha the prophet, חייך רבי. He said to him, Rabbi Shimon, sorry, I gotta tell you what happened. So please tell me. Can you imagine Elisha the prophet like an angel? He had to talk to Rabbi Shimon. Please, I'll tell you what happened. זין ימים מטרם שנכנסתם להידרה שלכם, 7 days before you walk into your gathering, בחרו לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא כל אלה שעברו ויהיו נמצאים בהידרה. God was sitting and start choosing who is allowed to go to Rabbi Shimon. Because everybody was waiting in line and said, God, I would like to visit, please. I would like to visit Rabbi Shimon. For us to appreciate who Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is. So they're all waiting, God, can we have like a note and we can go down? ואני הייתי מוכן שם, I also was in line to get in. ורציתי להימצא לפניו בהידרה. I want to be in the Hydra because Rabbi Shimon reached such a high level that they did the same exact thing with God in heaven. Just to appreciate the Zohar, תיקוני הזוהר, Rabbi Shimon, to appreciate. ואז קשרוני בכתפי, then they tie me in my shoulders, ולא יכולתי ללכת, they didn't let me go. כי ביום ההוא שלכן הקדוש ברוך הוא לעשות ניסים. God said, I'm sorry, I can't let you go, you have a miracle to make. You have to perform a few miracles, so you can go there to study. To who? לרב אמנונה סבא. To one of the most famous Kabbalists of all time, his name is Rav Imnuna Saba. Imnuna means the fish, the grandfather of the fish. Why fish? Because the ocean is Torah, and whoever swims in the ocean is a fish. Rav Imnuna Saba. וחבריו and his friend, שנמסרו לארמון המלך, because they were captured by the kings. ועשיתי להם נס. שהפלתי בשבילם הכותל של היכל המלך. So I had to create a miracle that the whole wall of the palace of that king who tried to capture them will fall and they can run away, and the king start to get scared that you don't want to mess with those few old people. ונסתבכו בקשרי הכותל ונפלו עמו, ומתו 45 שרים, and I killed, Eliyahu the prophet, usually wherever there is blood, and 45 ministers who tried to stop them die, and then I get them out, and I throw them in Bikat Ono. Ono is about 5 minutes from Bnei Brak, from Pardeska. It's a place where I grew up. It's exactly there. I threw them there. When it's all, and thank God they were safe. And then I make sure they have bread and water. Look at that story, apologizing. How long the apology? כי לא אכלו, they didn't eat. 3 ימים, כל אותו היום שהייתם בהידרה, לא נפרדתי בהם. So I stay with them for 3 days to make sure they're not going to die. Give them bread, water. כשחזרתי, מצאתי הפרסה שלקחו את כל העמודים, דהיינו המלאכים. When I came back, I saw all the angels and the friend, וגימל בין החברים האלה שאלתי אותם, את המלאכים, אומרים שזהו חלק קדוש ברוך הוא משחת רבי שמעון וחבריו. So what's going on? What is going on here? Because it was 10 people, remember 10, and 3 people died. 3 people died, they had to leave, and only 7, of course, גימל ראשונות, שערים תחתונות, 10 ספירות. Then Eliyahu Navi looked at Rabbi Shimon. He said to him, please, welcome, come in. Don't worry. Ashrei ata Rabbi Shimon. Said, good for you, Rabbi Shimon. and good for your portion, and good for the friend who's sitting with you. Kama madregot, you have no idea how many levels you've been fixed to the world to come. You have no idea how much shyness is coming toward you. I want you to know, today, today, they decide to give you 50 crowns. Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair, your father-in-law, Chodnecha, they give him 50 crowns. And I traveled with him in the upper world through Farsamon. It's a river of Farsamon. It's one of the rivers in the Garden of Eden. And he already passed away. And he chose his place where he can go. Said to him, Rabbi Shimon, I'm sure the righteous are in the right places. And usually in Rosh Chodesh, and in Shabbat, and in special time, they are connecting in the best way to this physical world. אמר לו אליהו, אף כל אלה שבחוץ יש להם אז עלייה. I want to teach you a secret. Even the one who's not so elevated, on Rosh Chodesh, they kick them one level up. On Shabbat, they give them one level up. On Zvanit, they give them one level up. That's why it's so important to be here on Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh. So when we do the kavanot, we give them one level up. דהיינו שבבחוץ שאינם צדיקים, שעל כאן קורם כתוב כל בשר. because it's a פסוק, it's from the הפטרה, והיה מדי חודש בחודשו ומדי שבת ושבתו, יבוא כל בשר לפניי. אם אלו באים כל שכן הצדיקים, למה? משום שעד מתעטרים האבות שהם מרכבה קדושה, נקראים האבות, מתעלים ונצאו חב"ד וכו' וכו'. ואתה הוא רבי שמעון, I want to tell you about you רבי שמעון. השביעי של השישה. There is 7 left, right? It was 10 students, together with Rabbi Shimon, 10 people. 3 died, now there is only 7. So you are, they call you up there, the Shvi'i, the 7th. Because the 7th left is the 7th. תהיה מתעטר ומתקדש יותר מכל. You will be surrounded by light and energy more than any human ever. וג' לעידונים, דהיינו ג' לסעודות, and you will have 3 meals הנמצאים בשביעי, עתידים החברים הצדיקים האלו להתעדן בשבילך לעולם הבא. And the student that of yours, like whoever study with you, because of you, because how can you, somebody now study Zohar, all of us study Zohar. We know who we are, come on. We're not that great people, but we study Zohar. So when a person goes to the upper world, he cannot insult Rabbi Shimon. Hey, this guy, yeah, I know he's not so good, but he's studying my Zohar. Give him a break, come on. It's beautiful. וכתוב, וקראת לשבת עונג לקדוש השם מכובד. מי הוא קדוש השם? זהו רבי שמעון בר יוחאי. Who is the holiness of God? What is the holiness of God look like? It's equal to the name רבי שמעון בר יוחאי. שנקרא מכובד בעולם הזה ובעולם הבא. Is respectful in the upper world and is respectful in this world. Question is, I want to raise a question. What kind of respect he had in this world? He lived all his life in a cave, suffer. It wasn't exactly easy. And the idea for Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, it was fun. Because at that time, he wrote the Tikkun Hazor. What we're going to do now, I feel your stomach, you're a little bit hungry. We're going to do a motzi. We continue some study. I'm thinking about what should I go next. I did that. What do I have here? Oh, it's important. That's a nice one. So, should I continue? It's a no? Yes. Audio okay? Yep. Audio fine? So, I'm going to read now Zohar in Aramaic from Parashat Ha'azinu, which is the most famous section of what exactly happened to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So it said, Tana, Bahu Yoma, the Rabbi Shimon Be'al Istalka Min Alma. We studied that day that Rabbi Shimon was about to leave, to get out of this physical world. Va'ava mesader miloi. And he was arranging his words, his talk. התכנסו חבריה לבית רבי שמעון all the friends came to Rabbi Shimon, to his house, to his place. Tavu kame Rabbi Elazar bere, and who was there? Rabbi Elazar, his son. Rabbi Abba, always remember, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Abba, Rabbi Elazar. Rabbi Abba lived till 300 years old. The reason he get the blessing for Rabbi Shimon, so he can take the Zohar all the way to Babylonia, all the way to Iraq. So like this, the Zohar will last. Not like in history of university, Rabbi Moshe de Leon. Yes, it was discovered in Spain, but I need to know. The house was full. What is that full? Quality or quantity? He had only 10 students, all of them together. Quality, guys. Always quality. Always quality. Never bargain for quantity. Quality. Quality. Quality is everything in life. Quality is everything. Everything in life. Always quality. Zakaf eno Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon raised his eyes. V'chama de'etmale beita. He saw the house is full. Baka Rabbi Shimon va'amar. Rabbi Shimon cry and say. בזמנה אחרא כד אבינה בבי מראה אבי ריבי פנחס בן יאיר קמאי. In different time, it was different amount of people. Because remember, this is the 7, he's only 7 student. And it was also my father-in-law, Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. Why he mentioned Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair so many times? His father-in-law was the first one to see him when he finished Tikkunei HaZohar. Once he finished Tikkunei HaZohar, he get out of the cave, Rabbi Pinchas see him. He sees that his body, because you stay in the dirt for too long, your soul reaching a very high level, but the body is the body, you know? I mean, it's not like us. I mean, we are looking at the sushi, if this is tuna or salmon, or if they're crispy or it's not. He was eating carb and water. That's it. We are now in a higher level. We are eating brown rice, yes rice, I'm allergic to this, I'm allergic to that. What happened? Everybody become allergic to something lately. What's going on with that? I mean, what happened in the time of Rabbi Shimon? People say, can I have please fat-free, please meat, gluten-free, and please extra vegetables. Why? Because it's not so good for my digestive system. What happened to us? I mean, we're supposed to be more modern 2,000 years after? No. Because we have two masters we serve. The soul and the body. And it seemed like the body take a good grip. I mean, how many of us willing to humiliate ourselves when we right? How many of us willing to humiliate ourselves when we're wrong? And how many of us not willing to humiliate ourselves at all? If you are the last kind, there is no spirituality for you. If you are the second kind, meaning you're wrong and you're ready to be humiliate yourself, to be embarrassed, it's good, it's medium. If you are willing to humiliate yourself when you're right, you're righteous. That's the highest level. But unfortunately, people don't like to be humiliated because the body gets insulted. What happens when the body gets insulted? Do you protect your body? Or you tell the person, wow, good point. Somebody tell you stupid. You're so stupid. Do you tell that person, I'm telling myself the same thing? For a long time I'm saying it. Finally, another person find out the real problem I have. I'm stupid. Or you start to defending your body. After all, that body you took it to the shower, you give him food, you take care of the body, clothing. What is the soul? How much time I'm taking care of my soul? 1 minute. say a little prayer in the morning, at night, shalom, enough. Sad. Rabbi Shimon went to put his body in the cave 13 years to make sure the body will know that I'm here to serve a different master, the soul. I'm serving the soul. That's why the Tikkun Hazor came out. So Rabbi Shimon said, last time when I was sick, Rabbi Pinchas was here. And we know also Rabbi Pinchas had a donkey, special donkey. This donkey would not talk, like in Shrek, but he would know everything. They call him the donkey of Rabbi Pinchas. And they compare the donkey to people who don't study. They compare, is it the people who don't study spirituality are the same level of donkey? And they ask that question. There is a question like that. Say no, they're less than the donkey of Rabbi Pinchas, less than an animal. Because when a person don't invest in their spirituality, what are we doing? We're eating? Yeah, we're eating. Is the animal can know how to eat? Yes. Making children, animal know how to do it too. Well, what's the difference? Animal go to work, animal feed, that's the same thing. So what is the difference? The lack of spirituality showed that the person using the animal kingdom, animal side of their behavior. And that has to be controlled. So when it's written you should control your animal as it go to the to plant the seed in the field, it's talk about the animal, to control it. So before you eat, you do bracha to remind yourself, I'm a human being. I'm not eating for the food, I'm eating because I want to make something spiritual. So he'd say, another time Rabbi Pinchas was here. ועד דברנה דוכתאי אוכילי עד אשתא. So I went up there, I checked my room in the Garden of Eden to see where am I sitting? Where's the seat? It's like you're going to movie theater. You know, you get L5 or L1, I don't know. Check a place. And they were waiting for me till now. We're talking about now a few hours before Rabbi Shimon is passed. This is now. When I came back, V'kativna askar esha mikamai. It was start to be a fire around the house. Ume'almin lo itpasak. And the fire would never stop. V'la ava'al barnash ela bershuta. And no human being was allowed to get into the house without permission. And now I know, I see around, the fire is gone. And the house is full with people. They were sitting and looking at him while he's speaking, and he saw whatever he saw. They don't tell us what it is. Suddenly a fire started surrounding the house again. Everybody leave. Fire. Ribi, you don't say Rabbi, Ribi Elazar, Bere, Veribi Abba, Bechirik. Who stay? Rabbi Abba, the writer, and Rabbi Elazar. The rest of the friend or outside. Amar Rabbi Shimon leribi Elazar bre. Rabbi Shimon say to his son Rabbi Elazar, Pok Chezi, I acha Rabbi Yitzchak. Find out where is Rabbi Yitzchak. Is he out? Dana me'arvan aleh. I had a deal with the angel of death. I had a deal with God that because he was supposed to die whenever he was supposed to die, I make a deal with God that whenever Rabbi Shimon leave, Rabbi Yitzchak living with him. אמר לי תסדר מילוי ויטיב לגבי זכה כל כאור. tell him to arrange his time, because we're leaving soon. There is express train to the biggest chamber in the Garden of Eden. Kam Rabbi Shimon v'hitiv. Rabbi Shimon stood up and sit, v'chayach v'chade, smile, and then he laughed. Amar at inun chavraya. Where is my friend? Where is my student? Kam Rabbi Elazar v'alelon idavo kameh. So Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, went out and said, guys, come in. Zakif yedo Rabbi Shimon matzlet etz lota. He raised his hand and he started praying. V'aveh chade. And he was happy, so happy. V'amar inun chavaraya dekro bebi idra izdamnun aka. He said, whoever study with me, I'm inviting them right now. V'nisharu, and they stay. Rabbi Elazar, his son, Rabbi Abba, scriber, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Chiya. בתוך כך נכנס רבי יצחק. Rabbi Yitzchak was invited. על רבי יצחק, אמר לו רבי שמעון, כמה יאות חולקך. Said to him, Rabbi Shimon, you're so lucky. Your portion is so beautiful. כמה חידו באלה ותפסה לך באי יומא. How much happiness more will be on your day as you enter the upper world. איתיב רבי אבא בתר כתפוי. Rabbi Abba was sitting in the back of Rabbi Shimon to his shoulders. ורבי אלעזר קמה. And Rabbi Elazar was sitting in front of his father like that. This is the departure, you need to understand. This is all the departure of Rabbi Shimon out. אמר רבי שמעון, האשת שאתה דרותה, הוא ואנה בינה למאל. Say Rabbi Shimon, now it's a very important time. Like Baomer, it was exactly tonight. ואני רוצה לבוא בלי בושה לעולם הבא. Now, I don't want to go with shame to the world to come. I don't want to go with shame. Without kisufa. Nahiba dechsifa means bread of shame. Kisufa means shame. Le'alma da'ati. V'amilin kadishin dalagalya na'ashta. I was skipping, a section. I'm going to reveal that on the day that he's leaving. And I would like to reveal it. בין הלגלה כמה שכינתא דלא יאמרון דעה וגאותה סתלקנה מעלמא ועד כאן תמירין אהבו בליבאי למעל באו לעלמא דעתי. He said, it's a very, very funny part here. Rabbi Shimon is saying, I don't want the angels to say that I left this world with a little lack. You know what Rabbi Shimon did for the world. So this is like last moment. He might say, I didn't do enough. And I will arrange it like this, Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Abba יכתוב, Rabbi Abba, you will write. Rabbi Elazar Bri Yali, my son will say whatever I say, repeat after me. שאר חבר חשון בליבי. And the rest of the friend, whoever is in the room, has to whispering, whatever I'm studying now. Come Rabbi Abba מבדר כתפוי. Rabbi Abba moved from the right side of Rabbi Shimon, from his back. והיטיב רבי אלעזר ברי קמה. And Rabbi Elazar was sitting in front of Rabbi Abba. So Rabbi Shimon is speaking, Rabbi Elazar talking, and Rabbi Abba is writing fast, whatever he say. And the Chaverim whispering everything that is going on. Try to imagine that. They whispering it again and again. Just repeating. So Rabbi Shimon will say, today will be a good day, today will be a good day, today will be. And he's saying it and he's writing it. This is a very powerful moment. אמר לו רבי שמעון קום בני כי אחר יישב במקום זה קם רבי אלעזר. רבי שמעון said to his son, I'm sorry, stand up. There's a different person who will have to sit here. התעטף רבי שמעון בלבושו, he dressed up, וישב, and he sit. And he opening the verse, לא המתים יהללויה ולא כל יורדי דומה. It's a verse we say in the Hallel. The dead will never be able to say the glory of God, and not the one who going down to a certain place in the afterlife. לא המתים יהללויה, כך הוא ודאי שהם נקראים מתים, כי הקדוש ברוך הוא נקרא חי והוא שורה בין אלו נקראים חיים, דהיינו הצדיקים. זה רבי שמעון, who is those tzadikim? What I'm impressed, that was said, that was expressed, those words were saying on this night on Lag Baomer, exactly now. And we have the privilege to read it tonight. This is very powerful, guys. So the frequency, the levels, it's happening again because the universe never changed. So the same words exist in this time. So it's very important to understand. ולא אם אלו נקראים מתים, דהיינו הרשעים. בסוף הכתוב בורר שכתוב ולא כל דומה. דהיינו כל אלה יודעים למלאך דומה, שהיו בגיהנום, אבל לא כל אלו נקראים חיים שהם הצדיקים, שהקדוש ברוך הוא רוצה בעיקרם. Say Rabbi Shimon, what's the meaning of that pasuk? What's the meaning of that verse? That the dead cannot praise God, and not the one who going down to a place called Duma. Duma is the angels who are in charge of hell. He say it, so I have to say it. There's an angel. There is an angel for everything. The one who in charge of that. Like there is the angel Laila. Laila is the angel to deliver kids. That's his job. Making sure which women get what children. So, Duma. So you say, righteous people, even after they die, we call them living. Living people who are wicked, considered dead while they are alive. Continue Rabbi Shimon. Amar Rabbi Shimon, kama shanya shata. How weird it is tonight. Rabbi Shimon, how weird it is. Dami Idra. He said from the last time we had Idra, because this is Idra Zuta, not Idra Rabba. Idra Rabba is when there is 10 students. Idra Zuta is when there is 7 students. Now you know what the difference. The place in Israel called Idra Rabba, it's not a place, it's called after what happened in that place. You understand? So what happened in that place was 10 students sitting together. That's where they were sitting. That's called the Idra Rabba Kadisha. Now you know, it's not a location. They call it location because of what happened there. It wasn't like the cave, it was just stone. And the one who revealed it was Rabbi Isaac Luria. Because Rabbi Isaac Luria were able to see past, present, and future in the same time. So when he was sitting, he could see where everybody was sitting. That's how powerful it is. Yeah. News from Israel. Yeah. I want to send also healing for my mom, Fortuna Bat Julia. She need to feel better. He said, how different is this from the Idra Rabba שבפרשת נשוא? כי בהידרה לזמן הקדוש ברוך הוא מורכבותיו. Other Idra, God and his chariot and the angel, everybody came down. ועתה הקדוש ברוך הוא כאן שבא עם הצדיקים וגן עדן, מה שלא קרה בהידרה. But now, God came here with all the righteous of the Garden of Eden, which didn't happen before. And what get God the pleasure, said Rabbi Shimon, is how can he make the righteous people getting the thing that they meant to be getting. כמה דכתיב בירבעם דאבה מקטר ומפלח לעבודה זרה. Take care of a person who did the worst of the worst in people. I don't know if you've ever been in Israel, the northern part of Israel. There is a place, I never took you there. It's called the Banyas. The Banyas was where Yehovah put one of the God, he put it there, the people to worship it. Now, why is mentioned Yehovah here? Say, Yehovah born very elevated, very righteous. Eventually, in the end of his life, he fell down spiritually. But even with him, said to us, the Zohar said to us, Rabbi Shimon, God was extend the time for him to please change. וכיוון תושיט ידה לקבל דעידו נביאה, יבש ידה. The argument Yerovam has with God, God was telling him, me, God, King David, and you will go to bring the Messiah. Yerovam said, why do you put King David's name before me? So okay. God said, no problem. Me, God, you, and King David will go bring the Messiah. By the way, Yerovam was very elevated soul. He said, can I go first? No problem. And he kept going and keep going, and God never punished him. Until when? Until he raised his hand and was about to slap Ido. Ido was a prophet. Ityapsha yado. His hand froze. And that's how he started falling spiritually. The ego went in. Sometimes it happened. We are not part of that, so we're allowed to have as much as ego as we want. By the way, I'm not joking. I'm not trying to make a joke. Our ego is so ridiculous. Ravash like talk about it. Our ego is so nothing that we are not even in the level that having an ego is an issue. Seriously, don't ever work on your ego. Work on everything else. Your ego is not even, it's a joke. What do you have ego about? What did you do? Did you receive Torah from Mount Sinai? No, so what do you have ego about? What? You made $5 billion? What? I mean, when you read the Torah, when you read the Talmud, when you read that, then you know. So I know a lot of spiritual teachers who tell their student to work on the ego. I'm telling you, don't work on the ego. Don't. That's not the problem. It never will be the problem with people in our levels. People in the highest level, they need to work on the ego. We don't even have the merit to work on the ego. That's how low we are. So we should have ego. And about what? What do you have ego? It's a joke. Our ego is a joke. Ravash wrote in one of his letter to his student, when he was in London, he said, listen, if you have ego, work on it, but tell me what you have ego about. I would like to know. What did you do? You resurrect the dead yet? No. So, did you, I don't know, elevate somebody from the grave like the tzaddikim used to? No. What do you do? I mean, what do you go about? It's okay, it's healthy to have ego, it's motivating, and this a little bit, it's good. The ego is not even ego. We don't even have ego. I wish we had ego. I wish we had ego. When we embarrass even now to go to Jeff Gourmet, right, with the Zohar, say, hey people, I am from Rabbi Shimon, send me the... Well, we're embarrassed. That's how much ego we have. If we have ego, we will go into the street and say, me, I am the chosen. You cannot even say that. He can't. None of you, I'm telling you, I read your mind now. None of you can say it. And only the people at home in the video. I'm not talking about being like a Michigan, like crazy to go around. Talk about when you believe in it, really, that you are the one to bring the Messiah. You are the one to resurrect the dead. It's like the story that somebody go to a rabbi, say, Rabbi, I had a dream. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai came to me in the dream, and he told me, I'm the chosen one. I'm going to be the one to bring the Messiah, finish disease, finish all the problem. So I don't know why people in the synagogue don't believe in me. What's wrong with them? He said, go back to the dream to Rabbi Shimon and make sure to tell him to show up for the people, not to you. Nobody understands it. If you don't laugh, you don't understand it. You got it. If we go to their dream, then of course they will follow him. But if you tell them he show up to you, if Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai wants you to be popular and famous and rich or whatever it is, he will go to the people that meant to follow you and tell them, hey, this guy is the real deal. Follow him. But it didn't happen. It came to you. No? Anyway. So don't work on the ego. You're wasting time. Our achieving in spirituality is so low that we need some ego. Once we achieve something spiritually amazing, You're going to start writing books on Kabbalah and how to do things and how to go through wall. You have to be careful with the ego. Got to be careful. Once you're able to teleport yourself from here to Israel in 1 second, ego might come in. Be careful. If you're doing it already, then you got to work on the ego. If you resurrect from the dead, any grave you go and you bring them back to life, got to work on the ego. If you don't need to work, but money keep chasing you, that's when you know some Kabbalah, you got to work on the ego. But if you just eat, go to shower, go to toilet, and all this and that, and you have ego for that, it's good, it's healthy. It's a healthy ego. Because you got to believe that you are functional. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. So some people have said, I'm working on my ego. I'm not in that level yet. I mean, I'm very jealous that you are there, but I'm not there yet. One day when I achieve something amazing in my life, then I need to work on my ego. I'm not there yet. Not there. You work on the ego when you have ego. But that's not the ego. What is the ego? What is the ego? It's like you're telling me, you know what I did today? I was able to go all the way to the kitchen, find the sushi I like, and eat it. I have ego for that. Good, you should. That's a great achievement. הקדוש ברוך הוא רוצה בכבודם של צדיקים בתוך כבודות של עצמו, כמו שנאמר בירבעם שהיה מקטר ועובד לעבודה זרה, המתין לו ולא הענישו, עידו. So Yerovam ben Nebat, he could have ego, because he was chosen by God to be the highest human being ever kept in this world. ואז שעבד עבודה זרה לא כתוב. How come God didn't punish him for doing idol worshipping? אלא מה שהושיט ידו לעידו הנביא. Because when you touch a tzaddik, when you touch a righteous person, oh. So now, tell them Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, look at this, beautiful what he tell them. But now, this second, unlike Baomer, God, because we are righteous, God care about us. And all the righteous in Gan Eden are coming with God. Amar Rabbi Shimon, Rav Ibn Nuna is here. Remember Rav Ibn Nuna from the last story? Rav Ibn Nuna is also here. And he came with 70 righteous. So Rabbi Shimon tell them what's going on in the room. Rav Ibn Nuna is here, and he has 70 righteous with him. And each one of them came with Atika Kadisha, spark from Atika Kadisha, which is the highest level. And he came with happiness. And he came to listen to me. Don't you think it's a little ego to say it for Rabbi Shimon? What's going on? Rabbi Shimon think he's so small that there is no reason to work on the ego. Listen guys. You've been misled if somebody told you to work on the ego. Work on the ego is the last thing you do. Last thing. You gotta earn working on the ego. You gotta do something great that nobody ever did. Then ego come in. But if you do everything that everybody else did, then well, So, oh my God, my father-in-law is here. Again, they all die, you understand? When they come, oh, Rabbi Pinchas is here. Can you imagine that party going on in the room? Rabbi Pinchas, oh, he's here. Please, give him a place to sit. So the 7 friends, they're sitting there, they're still in the body, you know, they start shaking. The body starts shaking. You know, it's a lot of people in the room that everybody heard the name and they down. ורבי אלעזר רבי אבא נשארו לפני רבי שמעון. No, קמו וישבו בירכתי הבית. So the friends start going and touching to the wall and, you know, shaking from fear. And רבי אלעזר and רבי אבא didn't move from רבי שמעון. אמר רבי שמעון, בהידרא רבא נמצאנו שכל החברים היו אומרים ואני עמהם. So in the other Hidra, I spoke and everybody spoke with me. אתה אני אומר בלבדי וכולם יקשיבו לדבריי. We change it. I will speak and you just listen. עליונים ותחתונים. The one of above and the one of below. Rabbi Shimon just activated the all forces of the universe. All the forces of above, all the forces of below, have been activate everything. Ashrei chelki bayom hazeh. Good for me today. Rabbi Shimon talk about himself. Good for me today. That's Rabbi Shimon. It's not, I'm working on my ego. What an ego to say I'm working on my ego. That's stupid. I'm working on my ego. I'm working on my ego. Why say Ashrei chelki bayom hazeh? How we translate it? Good for me today. פתח רבי שמעון ואמר, אני לדודי ועלי תשוקתו. He started דבר תורה with שיר השירים from songs, and you know the book song considered one of the deepest book exist in the world, and תיקוני הזוהר. Those two books are basically fixed השכינה. כל הימים שהייתי קשור בעולם הזה, כשאחד נקשרתי בקדוש ברוך הוא משום זה אתה ועלי תשוקתו. All my life, זה רבי שמעון בר יוחאי, I was busy doing one thing, connected to the divine, connected to the creator. No matter what I do, connect to the creator. ומשום זה אתה ועלי תשוקתו. That's why even now that you know he has few hours to live, still connect to God. שוב וכל המחנה הקדושה שלו באו לשמוע בשמחת דברים סתומים בשפח עתיקה קדישה. And God and everything exists in heaven, everything came down to the physical world at that day, and it's still here, by the way. Every like Baomer, it's happening again. The whole world of the above come down. They came to hear those words. הסתום מכל הסתומים, הפרוש ונבדל מכל, ולא נבדל שהרי הכל מתדבק והוא מתדבק בכל הכל. What's come down? עתיקה קדישה. The level of Keter, those of you who study Kabbalah, the level of Adam Kadmon, everything is come down, and everything is one. אחד ושמו אחד. That concept that exists from the beginning of creation is down to listen to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. I'm going to skip that part because this is more like those of you who study Tikkunim with me will understand, but not everybody will understand it. Huh? You will not understand it. But it's good to have ego like you are. And I'm going to skip to the part Rabbi Shimon basically teach all what we study in Tikkunei HaZohar. Once we finish Tikkunei HaZohar, we will be able to understand it better here. Bezrat Hashem. Amar Rabbi Abba. Say Rabbi Abba. This is the end. This is what he teach them. Gamar HaMaor HaKadosh Lomar Chaim. The last word he say in the Torah, Chaim, life. עד שנשתכחו דבריו. And I couldn't hear more voice. אמר רבי לסים מוצינה הקדושים ממר חיים עד ישארו בילוי. וענה כתבנה סברנה למכתב תאיפי. And I thought I'm going to continue to write. ולא שמעתי, and I didn't hear anything. ולא הרימותי ראשי, and I was afraid to raise my head. כי האור היה גדול. The light was so great, I couldn't raise my hand. ולאז עקיף לרש עד נורא אהבה סגי, ולאהבה יכלה להסתכלה. Even if I want to raise my head, I couldn't even look at the light. עד אחי הזדעזענה, שמענה קלד דקריב אמר, אורך ימים ושנות חיים. We couldn't raise our eyes, but we heard voice that say, long days and many years of life. שמענה קלה אחרא, חיים שלל ממך. Life he borrow from you. They just heard voice. כל ההוא יומה לא הפסיק אישה מן ביתה. The fire around the house never stop. ולא אהבה בהן דבטיל לגבי. ולא יאכילו לנורא ואישה אהבה בסוכרנה. And nobody can reach Rabbi Shimon. Because the fire and the light was strong. כל היומה נפלנה על ערה וגאינה. And we are falling on the floor and we are screaming and crying. מתחת להזיל אישה. חיינו בצונה כדי שהקודש הקודשים. And once the fire was gone, I was looking at the Holy of Holiest. In this moment they don't call him Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai anymore. No more Rabbi Shimon. Kodesh HaKodashim. Holy of holiest. You know where it is? In the temple there is a room, chamber, that only on Yom Kippur the high priest is allowed to go in. That's what the name of Rabbi Shimon now, they call him. I saw him. Destalek min alma. And he was gone. Et atef shachav al yemineh, but he was already surrounded with clothes and talit, and he was leaning on his right. V'an pei chaychin, and his face was full of smile and happiness. Kam Rabbi Lazar bre, Rabbi Lazar and Rabbi Abba, that's the only people now. And he sees his father. Natan yado v'nashek lo. He took his hand and started kissing his hand. V'ana lachichna avra tedachot ragloi. And I will start putting part of the dirt that he was standing on before. Start taking the dirt like dogs doing and tasting it. Ba'u chaverai lemefke. The friend came into the house to cry. V'lo yachlu lemar Allah. And they couldn't speak. Sha'aru chavrei v'bechaya, and they continued to cry. Rabbi Elazar brei nafal tlet zmanim, and Rabbi Elazar was falling 3 times. V'lo yachal yiftach fumei, and he couldn't open his mouth. Levatar patach v'amar, Abba, Abba, Father, Father. Tlat avu, we were 3. Chad itchazaru, ash tatnut cheveta. 3 people was great in the land. You, Father, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, my father-in-law, Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair, because the wife of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is Dvorah, and Dvorah basically gave birth to Rabbi Lazar. And who is the 3rd person? Rabbi Lazar. Who is the one who speaks? Rabbi Lazar. Need to work on the ego or something? You still believe to work on the ego? Who told you that? I have no idea. Working on the ego is for people who are very elevated. Hopefully we get there. We need to work on the ego. Say, Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Pinchas, matan nishar Rabbi Lazar yatom. So now Rabbi Lazar is alone because Rashbi, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is gone. Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair gone. V'nishar echad ba'olam, there is only one person left. What we're going to do, that all the animals of the kingdom of heaven used to go under the tree that called Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. ובענפיו ידורו עוף השמיים. And within the branches will stay the birds of heaven, meaning the angels. נמצאת שהחיות תנדונדה. Now the animals, where they're going to go? They have to go somewhere else. What about the birds? Where they're going to lean? What about the angel? What about that? משתכן בנוקבן דימה רבה וחברי כולו שתין דמה. What's going to happen instead of eating the food from Rabbi Shimon? Not physical food, real food. Now we have to drink blood, meaning we have to go back to eat physical food. קם רבי חייא על רגלו ואמר, Rabbi Chia stood up, and hopefully during the night I will explain to you exactly what happened to Rabbi Chia. It's considered one of the deepest section about Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Shimon. עד בוצינה קדישה מסתכל עלן. אשתלון הוא עדן אלא להשתדלה בעיקרה. So until now, Rabbi Shimon was taking care of us. I think it's time for us to take care of him. קם רבי אלעזר ורבי אבא נטלו לי. רבי אלעזר ורבי אבא took the body of Rabbi Shimon. נטלו לי בתיקרא דסקילה בין חמי רבויה דחבריה. And they took him and they put him on a bed that looked like leather. And the friends were all confused. They lost the study. וכל ביתה אבי סליק רחרן סלקו בפור ופוריה. And the house started producing smell, very special smell. ולא השתמש אלא רבי אלעזר ורבי אבא. The only one who allowed to touch his body and before the burial, Rabbi Elazar his son, and the right Rabbi Abba. התותר כאילו מראה תריסין לכפר ציפרי. ותרת בו בבני מרוניה. Came people with sword and army and say, what are you doing? This is Rabbi Shimon. He has to be buried in our land. You cannot take him somewhere else. They were worried he will not be buried in their ground. So the people of Meron start having argument with them. So no, he needs to be wherever he needs to be. This fighting, where is he be buried? Look at this, like Bishop on his left, there is argument. As the argument take place, and this group talking why it should be there, the other group saying why it should be in their place, and they have argument. The bed where Rabbi Shimon is leaning on lifts itself from the ground and get out of the house. By itself, nobody carried. יצאה מיטה מן הבית. אבא סליק באווירה, and it started flying. ואישה אבת לה קמה, and it was fire around it. שמעו קולה, אולו ועטו, and it make voice. אולו ועטו. Elevate. Come in and join us. So the angel was screaming, come in and join us. Ulu ve'atu v'itkanassu li'ilula de Rabbi Shimon. He said, please join us for the hilula of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai tonight, like Baomer. So the angel said, please join us for that night. Yavo shalom, a peace will come with that. Yanuch al mishkavotam, and he will go wherever he want to go. So they found the cave, and you know when you go to Rabbi Shimon, it's not where he's buried way down, he's buried in the cave. Beautiful, beautiful. And the voices of heaven say, Ze ha'ish bar ish haaretz. This is the person who make the ground shake, make earthquake. Margiz mamlakot, that's the person make kingdom get angry, because the Roman, I don't know if you know, the Roman every decree he was the most wanted man, you know, like the Western thing, you have a paper, most wanted man. Even he was in Rome himself, because when the Caesar before daughter was dying, Rabbi Shimon had the deal, if you cure the daughter, he leave the Jewish people alone. So the Caesar died, a new one came. So then Rabbi Shimon said to his son, we better hide in the cave and do Tikkun Hazor, and through that we fix everything. I say, because of you, Rabbi Shimon, today, if there is people who want to do damage to people, and because you left the world on this day, they say, please, let's 24 hours pass before something bad happens to those people. Please, leave the people alone, in the name of Rabbi Shimon. For that reason, if you go on the tradition of Sfaradi, you know, when they have problem and they don't know what to do anymore, they said the name Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai 10 times. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rabbi Shimon. I remember when I was young, you know, they were overly using it. You know, I remember they do laundry and all day. It was no machine like today. You have, and diapers were not like diapers today. Those of you know. So when a mother has to put it in a little rain, can create a problem. So the mother looked at the sky and said, a few hours, please, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. That's how he used to say. That's what they pray. Remember my mom too. My mom used to go to Rabbi Shimon, and hopefully that merit will cure whatever she's going through. She used to go every year. Every year she used to take a bus and go with many people. And of course we stay home and we used to laugh. Like, well, what is she doing with her life, this woman? Disappear at night. She left the house like at 7:30. And she come back home like, I don't know, 3 a.m. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Where she learned it? From my grandfather, Rabbi Avraham Hajani. She learned it from him because he used to have that tradition. You know, interesting. But last year, Debbie and me, went down, all the way down to the cave. And Debbie was asked by all the people there, Either they thought that we're rich, or they didn't see well. And they let us light the candle, and they let me do Arvit and Sfirat Baomer there. It's not because of our holiness. I mean, I would like to say because they saw that. It's not even ego to say it, it's a joke. But we were there. The name of the person who let us in was the Meir. May God give him long life. Meir Shitrit. May God give him the longest life. Let us in, go in, and the family of Shitrit taking care of all the food. There is food for free all night there. I don't know if you know that. If you ever go there, it's 500,000 people, and they feed everything. You just try to understand. You cannot get there by car. You can't. You have to get there by car, park the car about 40 minutes drive from there, then you go on a bus, and the bus takes you there. It's something to see. You gotta do it one time to see it, but it's not comfortable physically. You're not gonna like those of you who don't know if you like tuna or salmon, don't go there. Don't go. Don't even think about it. Don't go. You're not gonna. Yeah, those people who want to go there, go for the energy and the music that they play and the fire that they put out there. It's once in a lifetime. You gotta see it. So at this day, no negativity. זהו רבי שמעון בן יוחאי, שאדונו משתבח בו בכל יום. Every day, when God want to talk about human being, he start by talking about Rabbi Shimon first. So let me tell you why I create human. Rabbi Shimon. And he start like that every day. So those of you, read Zohar every day, read Zohar. And try to understand it. Not enough to read. You gotta understand. אשרי חלקו למעלה ולמטה. זכאה חולקה לאלה ותתה. Good for you in above, good for you in below. כמה גנזין על העין מסתברה לי, עלי תורן ותלך לקץ ותנור את עבוד לכולך לקץ הימין. עד כאן ההידרה קדישה זוטה. Till here, this is the הידרה זוטה. כמה אוצרות עליונים שבורים לאו נאמר ותלך לקץ תנוח לתעבוד לכולך לקץ הימין. So this is, my friend, the appreciation, again, to get to a certain amount of appreciation of every time you touch a Zohar, Tikkunei Zohar, every time you come here to study with Debbie, with me, or whoever is teaching here, just stop before you come in and say, wow, it's not our house. I mean, first we renting it, physically it's not our house, but it's a concept. I mean, what is vital? Rabbi Chaim Vital. Vital, from the word Vital, Rabbi Chaim Vital, who is the son of the Ari, right? Who was Rabbi Chaim Vital? Rabbi Akiva. Who was the Ari HaKadosh? Rabbi Shimon. That's why when they went to the Ida Rabbah, the Ari said, sit here, I will sit where I sit last lifetime. They said that exactly as it is. So, when a person come in here to study even with us, to eat a cake, to drink even a glass of water, it's not our house. We're living, we are guests in the place of Rabbi Shimon. We're just guests here. Not all the time we behave like it's the house of Rabbi Shimon. We have to change. But I need to tell you, it's the house of Rabbi Shimon. If you want to know what this is house. So when you come in here, and you sit here even, drink water, already the energy is with you. So all you gotta do, come here, read the book, read a little bit, and then go home, you already receive the energy. Very powerful, very powerful. I think we're going to take a break now. השתטח רבי חייא בהרה ונשק לאפרה. רבי חייא lean on the ground and start kissing the dirt after Rabbi Shimon was buried. ובכה ואמר, and he cried and said, thank you. אפרה, אפרה, dirt, כמה את קשי כדל. Say, you are so stubborn. כמה את בחצופי. You're so chutzpah, you have so much audacity, he said to the dirt. לכל מחמדי עיני יתבלון בך. All the most beautiful thing in the world, the most important thing in the world is going and get disintegrate inside of you or become rotten inside of you. כל עמודי נאורין דעלמא תחול ותדוק. The people who are, because of them, the universe was created, will go into you. כמה את חציפה. You have such a chutzpah, you have such an audacity. This is Rabbi Chia talking to the land. It's weird. That's why I want to read it tonight. Botzina Kadisha, the light of the world, the person that God said because of him the world's still around, et balebach, going inside of you, dirt. Rabbi Shimon, Niuri, the Betzina, Niuri, the Almin, the light of the holiness, the light of the world, and Bale Be'afra v'ant Kayam. You want to tell me that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is going into the dirt, and the dirt still exists? How can that be? Bena'ag Alma, השתומם רגע אחד, stop, Rabbi Chia, stop, think, and say, dirt, dirt, לא תתגאי, don't have ego, dirt. דלית פסול בך עמודי העלמא, because the real pillar of the world will not be given to you. People like Rabbi Shimon, the Rabbi Shimon, לא יתבלה בך, will not disintegrate within you. Rabbi Chia, this is after the burial. So Rabbi Chia, basically, if we talk for, let's say, I'm professor at university, we are watching now a rabbi who's going to a struggle, emotional struggle after his rabbi died, right? I'm presenting to you now mathematically, not spiritually. He covered, and he have a hard time with, he understands the laws of physics, the land has to eat the body, but the law of spirituality, it doesn't make sense to him. You understand? That's a struggle he had with himself. And now Rav Ashlag will go into it. We need to understand that's a Rav Ashlag. What does that mean that the Rav Chia was talking to the dirt? And if you found who Rabbi Chia was, if you go back the entire Zohar and understand who Rabbi Chia was, he was always traveling. Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi was walking. Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi was walking. Remember, you know what I'm saying? מה זה אומר? שעיקר העסק שלהם באי אורחא דאז ליחד. Most of what they did was going on the path. But going on the path doesn't mean physically. The path means malchut. Path of the path, malchut shemalchut. It doesn't receive any light until the end of time. You studied that with me so you can understand. שבשתה אלפי שנה, גמר התיקון, until גמר התיקון, because מלכות, you know, מלכות cannot, because of the מסך, because of that, it's going up to Bina, it still cannot receive fully, until גמר התיקון. ורבי חייא. ורבי יוסי השיב לו בשם רבי שמעון, ודאי אחיהו, שהשאר הזה נשאר סתום, and he said he take a section when Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Shimon sitting together, and so they had asked question a student, why the end of the tikkun not coming? So he said this gate has to remain closed. And all the secret of that gate is with the maftacha. We studied that too long time ago. Man'ula and maftacha, the lock and the key. And it bothered them a lot. What is this last level of malchut? That because of that there is no tchiyat hamitim, no temple, no immortality, nothing really happening. It's missing this one little thing for malchut. And until this moment that Rabbi Chia went to the grave of Rabbi Shimon and started crying, they wouldn't understand it fully. So let's see what we need to understand. And continue Ravash, like I say, because of the sin of Adam HaRishon, all the soul fell. And they went to the klipot. So Adam HaRishon did sin. It was built, let's say, from endless amount of soul. Okay, so the soul now going to the klipa. It's not just him, all the soul. שאין כוללות כל הנשמות שבעולם. באדם הראשון בתשובתו תיקן רק את חלקו בלבד. Adam, when he did תיקון, he did תשובה, but he only can do תשובה for himself. The rest of the soul was still in the klipot. Do you understand? וגם זה לא בשלמות הגבורה, and he didn't correct himself perfectly. ואחריו אין הנשמות מתברות בכל דור על ידי התשובה, מעשים טובים בעד גמר התיקון. And all the souls that come into this world have to do the תיקון as part of אדם הראשון. So all of us were part of אדם הראשון, and we have to do it through תשובה, repentance, ומעשים טובים, and good doing. We have to do good doing, like the sandwiches and all that. That's called good doing. It's called good doing. ונמצא שכל הנשמות הגבוהות מבחינת יחידה ולחייה, there is soul that coming all the way from יחידה, או ג' ראשונות, לחיה, שאין תלויות באווירור וזיווג של המלכות למלכות. If they're coming from so high, to create a קומה so high, what do we need?
Something very low.
Very low, מלכות ומלכות. I don't know if you study it with us. As deep as מלכות go, a קומה, as much as the אור חוזר will go. So the אור חוזר cannot go up to יחידה if it's meeting מלכות ומלכות. You understand? So the נשמות that as they are in the up cannot be fixed because we can't fix מלכות of מלכות now. So they are waiting to come down, they can't. They understand? שהיא השער הסתום שאין לה בירור, and it will never be בירור till משיח will come. If you take how many spark of light there is in the world, 320. 320 divided by 10 ספירות, every ספירה is 32. 32 is לב mean heart. It's in the נביא, ישעיהו, והסירות היא נלחמת לב האבן, ונתתי לכם לב בשר. I will remove the heart of stone from you when Mashiach will come, and put a heart. What does that really mean? You take 320 minus 32, you get 288, נכון? We only can fix 288 ניצוצות. 32 we can't. How do we know that again? If you take the word mamzer means buster. If a woman is married, she sleeps with another man, she gives birth to a child, that child considered pastor. What to do with him? It's written in the Torah, לא יבוא 10 דורות בקהל ישראל. He cannot go back to his tribe 10 generations. Why 10? Because he has to go to that 10 level until he finishes the ניצוצים. What is the gematria of the word mamzer? 288. Exactly like that. So I'm giving you just from the Ari to understand what we're doing here. We are here to fix all those 288 ניצוצות. That's why mamzer, it's a very big problem. Big problem. You know? Big problem. Because it's a soul that don't belong into this time yet. The very high soul. Because they're coming from that high soul. But because they don't belong, the body and the soul get confused. Chaos coming from that. Only chaos. Yeah. זה היה ברור? אתה הבנת את זה? ברור. הנה כל הנשמות ההן מתבלות בהפרש שהוא הקליפות, ועושות דמעת השוקים ואין להם מנחם. All those soul has to go to the ground and suffer because they don't have a vessel to draw them down. כי קליפת האפר שולטת עליהם בחוצפה וכשדורף. So the dirt is controlling them with chutzpah and with audacity, with not nice. בהיותה בתוכה ובכולה שאין מי שיוכל להציל אותה מידה. Because the dirt, nobody can nobody can be saved from me. That's what the dirt's saying. Think about it. We sometimes stop to think. Without the Zohar, we stop to think. The dirt allowed to eat the human body. That's mean the dirt thing is better than the human body. That's ego. You understand? That's ego. So when you look, because the dirt, what are you doing in the dirt? You walk on dirt. Or dirt is the lowest. Lowest. You walk on it, you step on it, nothing. And they said dirt laughs because eventually he has you. But he says something deep here. זה שבחר רבי חייא. Now we know why רבי חייא start crying. ואמר לאפרה שהוא הקליפות. He called the dirt, you are the קליפה. כי כל הנשמות הגבוהות בכולם, עדיין נרכבות בך בלי תקווה להציל המדח. And he was not talking to the dirt, he was talking more to those high souls that belong, they cannot come into fruition because there is nothing to hold them. היינו כל צדיקי העולם המאירים את העולם נמצאים גם הם חסרים מהשלמתה בסיבת השבייה של אלו הנשמות הגבוהות. So all the righteous of the world are not complete. They're never complete because they're missing that part. משום שכל הנשמות כללות זו מזו. וכך נמצא שגם הם נאכלים ונדקים כוח החוצפה היא של האי האפרה. Because all the soul connected to one another. There's no separation in the soul. So if those high soul don't come to a full fruition, or a soul is being disintegrate in the ground, all of that we're experiencing because we are part of it. There's no separation. כל קשור. לפרק נמצא שגם הם נאכלים ונתקיים בכוח החוצה של האפרה. בזה שאמר בוצין הקדיש רבי שמעון לא יתבלה בך. He almost, Rabbi Chia, almost say that Rabbi Shimon also going through that. תחילה רצה לומר שגם רבי שמעון יתבלה באפרה, והוא כי שמע מרבי יוסי שגם הוא הסכים ששאר זה סתום ואין לגלותו. But after he remembered what Rabbi Yossi and him studied for Rabbi Shimon, he knew that gate is closed. ואחרי זה תמה ואמר רבי שמעון נאורות ברצינות, כלומר שכיוון שהוא המקיים כל העולם מנהיג אותם, איך אפשר שלא ישלם בכל לימודו? But he said, my teacher, my rabbi, is so complete. Without him, nothing worked, nothing happened. אחרי זה השתומם רגע חדה, יושב בדעתו ואמר בהחלט שרבי שמעון יתבלה. Then he was sitting and said, definitely רבי שמעון will not be eaten by the ground. כי הוא ודאי בתכלית השלמות, אלא שלא יכול להבין האפשרות הזאת. So what Rabbi Chia did is, listen, I cannot really understand it or explain it, but I'm sure of the fact that the land will not eat Rabbi Shimon. You understand? He's struggling. The fact is that the land eat everything. Why? Because of the sin of Adam. The non-proving point, but it's not a hope, it's a fact, that righteous people who complete, like Rabbi Shimon, not supposed to eat by the dirt. So he has two opinions running together, and he doesn't know what to do with it. You understand? That's why he cried. He's ashamed of himself. How can I think about Rabbi Shimon also go to the land if I studied in school? And if I think it's for sure, what is my proof? If it's for sure positive, then what is my proof? You understand? It's going to a debate. Question?
Yes, I do. So I don't understand why it's a problem that his body is being eaten by the dirt. It just feels like
because that's been
life, but it's not his soul.
No, but the body.
Physical.
No, the body of tzaddikim is like a soul. They fix everything. That's why he put himself in the dirt, Rabbi Shimon. And that's, the body was not eaten. He was dying every day for 13 years. We want to ask Rabbi Shimon to help us, to help us to be more spiritual, more than anything. To want to be more spiritual, not to be, to want to be more spiritual. Let's start there. To want. First, to have a desire. So when I see a movie or tea or this or that, I choose spirituality. That's called a desire. To want. Then to be. But yeah. So Rabbi Chia is going to confusion. Kam Rabbi Chia vaya olech v'boche. He stood up and he started crying. The Rabbi Yossi, his friend Rabbi Yossi is next to him. Itana 40 yom מאותו יום. He fasted for 40 days. Not at night, only in day till night, tanit. Why? לראות את רבי שמעון. He said, I'm fasting 40 days until I see my teacher. אמרו לו, אינך ראוי לראות אותו. At least he got the answer. He got an answer after 40 days of fast. So you didn't merit yet to see your teacher. בכה והתענה 40 יום אחרים. He cried and fasted another 40 days. הראו לו במחזה. They show him רבי שמעון בר יוחאי in a vision. את רבי שמעון ורבי אלעזר בנו, and his son too, שהיו עוסקים במילה הזו שאמר רבי יוסי. And they show them what they're doing in heaven. That they will have an argument about one word that came from his best friend Rabbi Yossi, משמו של רבי שמעון לאל. And they were having a debate what these words really mean. And he saw 1,000 righteous people listening to Rabbi Shimon. Say Rav Ashlag is putting a lot of commentary here. Say Rav Ashlag, מתוך מצוקתו לישופרא דבלי באפרא, he was so desperate that he even think that his own rabbi was eaten by the ground. He said, I have to see the level of Rabbi Shimon. The Koma, I have to see. Because if I decide that he's not been eaten by the ground, he need the chizuk, he need the confirmation. And when it say that they were talking about something that Rabbi Yossi said, they tried to give Rabbi Chia a hint that all of that motivation he got that the earth is not eating Rabbi Shimon is because one time Rabbi Yossi reminded him that one time they studied with Rabbi Shimon about this last level of Malchut that need to draw the highest soul. You follow me? Yeah. אתה בסדר עדיין? בתוך כך ראה כמה כנפיים גדולות ועליונות, so he started seeing wings. ורבי שמעון ורבי אלעזר בנו עלו עליהן. אני אעשה רבי שמעון ורבי אלעזר going on the wings. ועלו לישיבה של הרקיע. And those wings is like elevator. They're taking you to different levels. So they're taking him to a different school. It's called the school of the rakia, the firmament. Firmament. Okay? Yeshivat HaRakia. That's the name of the place. But the wings is waiting for you. It's funny, no birds, no head, just wings. Yeah, you really don't need the birds, you need just the wings. So he looked at Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Elazar face while they study, and he saw that the face keep changing. It's like they give them a new face and it's made of light. And then the light becomes so strong that he couldn't look, it became like the sun itself. What is this school? Who is the manager of this school? Metifta de Rakia. This school of firmament is Metifta de Matat. Who is the in charge? I cannot say his name, is the angel Matat. Wow. But Matat is the king of all angels. It was Enoch. Enoch, if you look at the Bereshit, Enoch, it says disappear. It says ki lakach oto Elokim. God took him. It doesn't say he died. So he became the angel. He's the king of all angels. Enoch. You should read it. It's on Google. Enoch. I cannot say his name. Matat. I cannot say his name. It's a short version of his name. So those wings are actually angel. So I guess angels don't look with body, there's only wings. What they do, their job is to take the soul from one level to another. And the soul when the soul do good things, the soul need help to go up. And the soul sometimes need to fall, so it need to go down. So those wings just taking them wherever they need. So beautiful. The description is so beautiful. He's watching it now. That's a human going into place, non-physical. Then you see them coming back from the school of Matat to the school of Rabbi Shimon. There is a school of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. You want to be invited there? You want to be invited? And he keeps seeing their face change. Meaning, it's not a change, It's getting old and throwing a new one coming, and it's become shining. All of a sudden, this is all vision. Can you imagine in a dream? Rabbi Shimon look at him, and he start to say, Ikanes Rabbi Chia v'yireh. He said, I'm inviting Rabbi Chia to watch everything here with his own eyes. בכמה עתיד הקדוש ברוך הוא לחדש פני הצדיקים לעולם הבא. How God changing the face of righteous people in the world to come. אשריהו מי שבא לכאן בלי בושה. Good for the people who arrive to the Garden of Eden without shame. Because sometimes you are tzaddik, you do so many good things, you suffer enough, and you have doing so many good things, you are righteous. But you do a few things which you don't want people to know. So the person go there and say, yes, he belongs here. But he has to go with those signs on his back and his front with what he did wrong. Stole from gas station every day. This was his thing. But he's a tzaddik. He's perfect. No stealing. No. So he's among of all those giants, and there is a tzaddik that like to eat cheeseburger. He can't help it. He's tzaddik, but he need to have a cheeseburger. Yes, gotta have it. Gotta have it. Because the Torah tell you only not to cook. Rabbanan tell you not to eat. You know that, right? Somebody hurt animal. It's a problem. Insult animal by words. Problem. Lashon hara. Problem. We all do that. So you tzaddik. Not perfect. You know, when you realize you're tzaddik but not perfect, it's tough. It's more work. You know, what's going on? ייכנס, he said, come in. וכמה עתיד, בלי בושה, אשר מי שעומד באותו העולם כמות חזק בכל הוראה. וראה רבי חייא את עצמו שהיה נכנס. רבי חייא seeing himself going in. ורבי אלעזר היה קם, and רבי אלעזר stood up for him. וכן שאר עמודי העולם שהיו יושבים שם, היו קמים מפני רבי חייא. All the righteous stood up for רבי חייא. He doesn't get it, like he's not at that level. He's a student of Rabbi Shimon. That's what he called himself. The old giant of the righteous people all stood up when he walked in. והוא רבי חייא מתבייש ונכנס. He was embarrassed and ashamed, but he wanted to see. So his curiosity versus his shame, he wanted to see what's going on. This is his life, chance of a lifetime. So Rabbi Shimon stopped. So what he did, he fall into the feet of Rabbi Shimon and sit like a little baby in front of the leg of Rabbi Shimon. It is such a beautiful picture. So nobody understood why he has shame. In that chamber, nobody has shame. The shame itself is part of the sin. Sometimes people being proud for having shame because they think it's humble. No, shame means they did something wrong. Where do we learn it from? Adam, after he ate, he hid. And what does he want for that? Reward. He said to God, look, I'm ashamed of what I did wrong. It's a shame. God answer, you should see it. God answer, a shame. Why did you do something wrong? So when you're ashamed, in that chamber, there's no shame. Somebody is clean, not shame. You see a baby, are they ashamed of what in the diaper? No shame. It's no shame. It's pure. It's a baby is pure. It's close to Keter. So they saw that he is ashamed. So they don't know what it is, the righteous people. Why was he ashamed? Say the Zohar, Rav Ashlag. Michamat ha'ish shufra debela afra. Because he had, the thought that he had about Rabbi Shimon, he's embarrassed of that thought. That he believed that his teacher will eat by the ground. And he doesn't have a cure for that. He doesn't know what to do. Doesn't have a cure to overcome that thought. Look how much he fights with himself. It's a beautiful thing. Yatsa kol, sound came out in all over Garden of Eden. To Rabbi Chia, this is so scary. Say, lower your eyes. Ashpel enecha. Al tiskof roshcha. Don't even think to raise your head. Ba'al tistakel, don't open your eyes. Wouldn't you open your eyes? It's a moment. Shpil et enav, he lowered his eyes. V'ra'a or, he saw a light, I guess in the closet. Shaya meir leberachok, light that shine endlessly. חזר הכל בתחילה ואמר עליונים הנסתרים והסתומים כוחי העיניים. A voice said, the elevated, hidden and concealed, the one who opened their eyes, משוטות בכל העולם, the eyes that traveling the world, הסתכלו וראו, come and behold, come and see. תחתונים הישנים, come see those people who go to sleep. ואור עיניכם סתום בחור עיניכם הקיצו. Wake up, you people who just go to sleep, and use the light that God tried to give you through your eyes. So instead of wasting time with sleep, wake up. You know, there is one of the things that make you a Navi, make you a prophet, that if you wake up every night after midnight, or before nets. Yeah, Debbie and me were thinking today, Debbie asked me, we were talking together about it, why I'm not doing those lectures before dawn. I said, yeah, I have to do it because I used to do it many years ago when I teach something special. So we see. So after he listened to everything, he had the merit to understand. Then the karuz is like the announcer, wake up the soul that were listening to Rabbi Shimon, and wake up another soul that didn't listen yet to Rabbi Shimon. And the voice divided the people to two. כת אחת, one group, וקדישי עליונים תבירים סתימים, שחררו בבחירת עליו שתות בכל העלמה. One group married to understand everything, and their eyes allowed to go everywhere, because they have p'kichat enayim. P'kichat enayim means they have the capability to see. קרא להם שיסתכלו ויראו, כלומר שימשיכו האורות העליונים למצב תחדה. He asked them to continue and open their eyes, because through that they draw the light that needed. עם הכת הבית, שכל המשרים דעזים מתארחים בתא קודש ברוך שכתב עדלים מתארחים בשחיטה, אותם תתאים דברכים, שהם דברכים שנים ואור עיניהם צדים בחורי עיניים להם קורש תורו. Those are different group of people that is called their eyes are closed. He said them mixed together. And then the announcer say that. Listen to this carefully, guys, what the announcer say. This is going in Gan Eden now. I'll have to read it in Aramaic, it's so powerful. Because this is not the voice of human or even spirit. Nobody knows, they don't know what it is. It's an announcer. מען מינו חודה אחרי שוחה, מאב חן לנורה, ותאמין מרירה למתיקה. People said to me, what's my favorite section of the Zohar? There's two. This is the second sentence, this is the first. This is like one of my favorite. עד לא עיתון אחא, מען מנחת ברכה ברעולים על נורא דנעיר בשעתה. דמלכה פקיד לאלתה ותקרקה ותקל מלכה בכל מלכים דעלמה. מען דלא מצפה דה בכל יום הבאו על מעלית לה חולקה אחא. מי מכם? Who's among you? Asher אשר הפך חושך לאור. Who's among you turn darkness into light? Then I promise you, the bitter will detest like sweet. Whoever able to turn tough moment, good moment, then whatever bitter in their life will turn into sweet. But what does it mean? היינו מטרם שבא לכאן לעולם, דהיינו בעודו בחיים בעולם הזה, מי מכם שבכל יום הוא מצפה לאור המאיר בשעה שבא לפוק את העילה. What righteous people do, they wake up early morning, before dawn, and they're waiting for that light to come. אז מתגלגל לכבוד המלך ונקרא מלך על כל מלכי העולם. ומי שאינו מצפה לזה בכל יום בעודו באותו העולם, בעולם הזה אין לו חלק כאן. וואו. מפחיד בכלל, לא? A person who doesn't have the wake up in the morning, waiting for the light to come, cannot go into that chamber. Ami, we have to do it.
What are we doing class?
How many times? Like once? Can we do
Once a week. It didn't say that.
He said בכל יום.
But
Every day.
oh, every day.
Every day.
No.
One second, Rav Ashlag now explaining it. What does it mean? הכיתה אחת אומרת, the first group said, how to turn darkness into light, meaning the נשמות דאצילות, דהיינו בריאה עשייה, חושך לעומת אור, מר לעומת מתוק, לפרק לאורייתא דבריאה עשייה יש כשר ופסול. The Torah has within it kasher and vepasul, meaning kosher and not kosher. Why? Because this is the whole idea of the Torah is in Bria, Yitzira, Ve'asiyah. There is also Torah of Atzilut, which is the sod. There is no bad or good. For example, Lavan Arami, when you take Lavan, was a bad person by the story. But if you take Lavan, in Atzilut Torah, it's considered Lavan, beautiful, white, light. The same with Pharaoh, the same with everything. In Atzilut, all those names are powerful. What does that mean, the people who wake up? Not necessarily in the morning, say Rav Ashlag. It's people who are chasing the Shekhinah alone and always waiting for God that will elevate the Shekhinah from the ground. And these are people who do what we call Tikkun Chatzot. They're sitting on the ground, do Tikkun Chatzot. As he continued Rabbi Chia, he saw a lot of the friend, and he see that they elevate them to the highest yeshiva. And then he saw Matat. Matat is the highest angel, the king of all angels. That he came. Again, Rav Ashlag. So Matat was able to come down because of those souls. And this is the Matat, what he swear. Nishba Shvuah, Shabbat Ma'achorei HaMasach. And he said to him, listen, I listen what's happening behind the curtain. שהמלך מפקד בכל יום וזוכר את העילה שוכבת לעפר. That the king, God, remember every day the Shekhinah. ובאותה שעה בועט בעיטות ב390 רקיעים. And at that time that he remembered the Shekhinah is not with him, he kicked 390 firmament, וכולם חרדים ונבלים לפניו. And everybody gets scared of the king. והוא המלך מוריד דמעות, and then the king cry for the Shekhinah, and those tears are boiling, and they become like fire, and they go to the ocean. And to those tears, the minister of the sea, the angel of the sea, I don't know what you call it, the minister of the sea, is able to function. The name of that angel is Resh Bet, R-A-A-B. That's his name, don't say this name. He's like what the guy with the fork, what you see in the cartoon.
Poseidon.
Yeah, so that's yeah. So you say, in the end of time, he will be the angel that will save the Israelite. Yeah. So because they're going to come to Israel with a lot of sheep. From the sea it's going to happen. But his job is waiting for the day he will dry the sea at that day. That's his mission, that's his job. It's crazy, Michael. It's unbelievable. It doesn't stop. Can't stop. What should I do? It's too much, huh? בתוך כך, שמע קול שאמר פנו מקום, פנו מקום. He heard the announcer say, פנו מקום, פנו מקום.
Make room.
Make room, make room. כי מלך המשיח בא לישיבתו של רבי שמעון. The king of the Messiah want to go into the school of רבי שמעון. Why? משום שכל הצדיקים שם הם ראשי ישיבות שאותם הישיבות ידועות אין שם. Because all the head of all the ישיבות decide to go to study with רבי שמעון. וכל אלו החברים של כל ישיבה עולים מישיבה שכאן לישיבה של ברקיע. ומשיח בא בכל אלה ישיבות. Because the Messiah can go any place he want. And when he heard all the head went to רבי שמעון, he said, I want to go there too. וחותם תורה מפיהם של החכמים. And he's the seal of the Torah for all the sages. Shah Mashiach. So the Messiah entered the yeshiva of Rabbi Shimon. And the Messiah looked like he's having a piece of everybody. Every righteous, he has a piece of him. That's how the Messiah look. So beautiful. It's a piece of everybody. Did you get it? So beautiful. A section before that I skip, Matat, the king of all angel, swear to Rabbi Chia how things work, and he explained to him that in a way the dirt don't eat. It's an illusion because that last part of Malchut is not been revealed yet. So it looks like it is, but it's not. So there is two things happening at the same time. We cannot grasp it all the way. But why all the tzaddikim came to Rabbi Shimon? Because Matat was not supposed to talk to a human being who was alive, Rabbi Chia. So when they revealed to him what exactly going to happen in the end, you just been revealed what's going to happen in the end. The minister of the ocean will come back to life. He's right now dead, according to this. And he will come back to life, and he will dry the whole ocean for the sake that those people will not hurt Israel. And if you want to see the Messiah, you only have to have an affinity with his level, because Messiah come from Yechidah. Remember that we talk about soul that cannot be born, is one of them. It cannot come down because there is no Malchut of Malchut. And whoever is there, earn it. Otherwise they cannot be there. Remember, there is no shame there. Person who shame just not exist. So you can only meet whatever you earn. You get it? And the Messiah go from one place to another because every new Torah section that come, he take part of it.
Who takes part?
The Messiah. The Messiah. At that moment, all the students stand, and Rabbi Shimon stood up as well. And his light went all the way to the highest level of the firmament. Amar lo Mashiach. Now the Messiah talked to him. Rabbi, Ashrei lecha, good for you. שתורתך עולה ב-370 אורות. Your Torah is shining in 370 light. כל אור, and every one of that light, the אור, מתפרש ל-613 טעמים. And every flame of light has 613 meaning. עולים וטובלים בנערי המפרסמות האור, and those your words of Torah go to the river of Farsamon. You know what Farsamon is, right? It looks like tomato. They call it Farsamon. So there is the river of Farsamon, it's called. But it's not like that. And the words are going there to get purified there. And God is the one who actually sealed Torah from your mouth. So when God hear what you say, God seal it after you say, that's for Rabbi Shimon. And the other person that got sealed also the Torah, מישיבת יחזקיה מלך יהודה. I don't know, Ezekiel, the king of Judah. You know who he was? He was the last person who convinced God that if a person have a decree of that is about to die, to give him a chance to change something inside, and they will give him extra years to live. He negotiated that with God. So God gave him 15 years extra to live. We are not alone. We are not alone. This is beautiful. And what is the other yeshiva that got sealing? Achia Shiloni. Now you know why in the song of Rabbi Shimon, nobody understands why they put it there. Bachar lo makom bishmaya. He said Rabbi Shimon chose a place in heaven, where in place in heaven you sit next to a person you feel comfortable with in his Torah. What did the Rabbi Shimon choose to? Where is the yeshiva? Imanavi Achia. Prophet Achia. Go to the Bible, you look at Achia, you find nothing. Nobody understands what is going on with this Achia. It's a few little section. So 3 people got sealing. Rabbi Shimon, the yeshiva of Rabbi Shimon, the yeshiva, the school of Ezekiel, and Achia. What does that mean that Rabbi Shimon stood up, say Ravash like? He stood up means he became Koma Shlema. Remember Koma? Koma, he became complete. Meaning from Keter to Malchut. That means he was able to understand the Malchut of Malchut in the end of the Tikkun. And when it says that the light went all up to heaven, it means Or Yechidah, in the level of Yechidah. So said to him, the Messiah, I didn't come here to steal Torah from your yeshiva, but the master of the wings was here, meaning Matat, and he wouldn't go into any other school but your school. So Rabbi Shimon told him, I tell you, the wings master just swear something to Rabbi Chia about what happened to a person in the dirt. The Messiah starts shaking, his body starts, his whole image starts shaking when he heard that the Matat actually revealed that secret. He started raising his voice. And all the firmament start to shake. And the big ocean start to shake. And the whale starts shaking. There's a whale, I cannot go to details. And the world was about to crash. As the Messiah is so upset that this secret been revealed, because it makes people understand it's all illusion and test. So suddenly he look at Rabbi Shimon and he see a human being holding his leg. It's even more upsetting. Amar, mi natan kan adam levush beged olam ha'u? Who let a human with the skin of a human in here? You understand what's going on? Mashiach is like, what's going on here, guys? Amar Rabbi Shimon, Zeu Rabbi Chia. Rabbi Shimon stand and say, this is Rabbi Chia. Or be'or Torah is the light of the Torah itself. Say the Messiah, then him and his children has to die right now. And let them be part of your yeshiva, Rabbi Shimon. If that's the way it goes, they have to die right now, and they go to become in your yeshiva. Amar Rabbi Shimon, Zman, inaten lo. Say, can you give him please some time, Mashiach? Give him some time. Give him some time to be with his family a little bit. נתנו לו זמן. Mashiach agree. Give him the time he needs until he come here. Heavy. Meaning that this time here, it's not a big deal. What's happening there, it's way more. Why was the Messiah angry? Asked Rav Ashlag. Because the problem that will happen for Israelite in the end will be so bad. And when Matat revealed that to Rabbi Chia, the Messiah said, okay, now when the negativity has been revealed, I have to sweet it. That's why he shook. He said, I have to change it from negative to positive. And the other thing, like when he saw Rabbi Chia dressed with the human body. Because you get the different clothing up there. The skin called clothing of the soul. But the soul is the same. Soul just give you different clothing on that. The clothing you made from the mitzvot. More mitzvot you do, more better clothing you have. So men wear tzitzit because men need more clothing. So the idea, says Rav Ashlag, if Rabbi Chia saw the Messiah and Rabbi Chia heard Matat, what's going to be in the end? How can he even go back to... And then there is no point anymore. He got the point. It's like video game. He got the point. There's nothing to play anymore. אין לו מה לעשות עוד בעולם הזה. Messiah didn't try to kill, you understand him. He just said, there's no purpose for him to go back. And what is he going to think now? You know, it's all graveyard is illusion. All death is illusion. All these things is and it's actually, this world is nothing. It's actually nothing going on here. You have only come to be tested, overcoming your test, study Torah, and then you die, and then the real world begins. So he said, if somebody will know that, then they will not even care about the food. אם כן, הוא צריך להסתלק, להיכנס למטיפתא, רבי שמעון או גן עדן. למה לא להיות עוד בעולם הזה בחינם? He said, if he got the point, then he's wasting his time to be in the physical world. There's nothing to gain. Can you imagine how they talk about the physical world? There's nothing to gain here. Fashion, nothing, it's nothing. What about us that we're hearing it? How much we get affected? We just get depressed that we're losing something for this physical world. We're not getting depressed that we are not getting motivated to do more. You understand? רבי שמעון, תעזור לנו, תעזור לנו. כלומר, רבי שמעון הולך לשבת ליתן לו זמן רק לחודש. So why is רבי שמעון negotiate 1 month? כי הוא צריך עוד לחיות באי אלמה ולעסוק בתיקונים חדשים. Rabbi Shimon tell the Messiah, there are still few tikkunim he gotta do. Yes, he does know all of this dead, but still have tikkunim. So he asked the Messiah, tell him what he need to do the tikkun specifically. We send him down, he does the specific tikkun, and then he can come here. So instead of just going randomly and he doesn't know what is need to change, they give him like the file and say just complete those tasks and then you die the next day and we come back here. יצא המשיח משם שהוא מזדעזע. The Messiah left the yeshiva that is all shaking ואינם זולגות דמעות. And he was crying, the Messiah was crying. מזדעזע רבי חייא, רבי חייא is like losing it. He's like so losing it. You understand what's going on? He's like losing it. ובכה, he started crying non-stop. אמר אשר חלקם של הצדיקים בעולם ההוא is good for the righteous in the upper world ואשר חלקו של בן יוחאי and good for the son of יוחאי שזכה לכך. לאו כתוב להנחיל לאויבי יש רוצה ממלא that he was able to earn those things in an unbelievable way. Why was the Messiah cry? Say Rabash, like that's the most tough thing. מרוב הגעגועים לגאולה. He's the oldest soul and he's the one waiting for the redemption more than all of us. We don't have enough desire for the redemption. We have more desire for this sushi, for that chocolate, that. But desire really for that to be over so the Messiah can come.